When first the gods were men on earth. Settling on the bond of heaven to earth, Anu decreed that the Anunnaki would come forth. They were forced to toil and do labor. Great indeed was the drudgery of the gods. The labor was heavy, the misery not befitting of gods. And the 7 great Anunnaki were not free of the burden, and the Igigi watchers were called down to do slave labor. And these giants roamed the earth in a time before men. Because the grain goddess had not arrived, because the cattle goddess had not been born. There was no cattle, and there was no grain. The Anunnaki were forced to eat plants like sheep and drink water from the ditches. They dug rivers and opened canals to be the life of the land. The Igigi watchers also dug rivers and opened canals. Then the Igigi watchers dug the Tigris River and the Euphrates. From the depths of the earth they brought forth springs of water, and the wells of life they established. They gathered up earth to build up all the mountains, and for years they toiled under such drudgery, and they had counted the years of their labors. For 10 cycles they suffered the toil night and day. For 20 cycles they suffered the toil night and day. For 30 cycles they suffered the toil night and day. For 40 cycles too much had they toiled night and day. The elder gods of the Anunnaki came together. With lots they decided the fate of the earth. To Anu, the father of the heavens, would remain in heaven. To Enlil, royal heir, was given the command. To Enki was given control of the waters of life. But in the lands, only endless toiling transpired. In the ditches, the Igigi watchers began murmuring against the work. "Let us confront our foreman," they declared. "He must take off our heavy burden upon us. Let us confront Enlil, the commander of the Anunnaki. Come, let us go to him and pull him from his chamber." So the Igigi watchers set their tools on fire, picked themselves up, and moved to the gate of Enlil. It was nighttime when his chamber was surrounded, but Enlil was not aware of their advances. The Igigi approached the gate of Enlil. Nusku opened up his gate to the great chamber, and he took his weapons in as he stood. Enlil gathered with the assembly of the Anunnaki. "Now then, Anu, your father in heaven, and also your counselor and general of the armies, Enlil, and your prefect goddess queen, Ninurta, and your lord on earth, Enki, have commanded me to ask you, who is the initiator of this battle? Who is the initiator of these hostilities toward this place? Who has declared a war and brought war upon the gate of Enlil?" The Igigi watchers shouted out, "Every one of us among the Igigi has declared war. We take our stand now against the endless excavations of land, and the excessive toils and slave labor has killed us. Our forced drudgery has been too heavy, the misery too much. Now every one of us Igigi has resolved that a new covenant shall be made with Enlil." A grand assembly of Anunnaki was advised. A message was sent to Anu to come down from the heavens. The Lord Enki was brought to their presence, and the resolution came from Enki. To relieve the misery of the Igigi, the race of humans would be created to be the workers.